So what I want to talk about and discuss is something that I also touched on with one of my stylists this weekend, working with brides in Virginia, and it's this discussion of what how it is living with a narcissist. I think we want to start there because if we're going to understand one, some of the behaviors of the bride's inability to make decisions, and two, how a narcissist is in an appointment and how what will turn them off and what will actually possibly turn them to get to actually move forward to purchase. Um, and I think it's an important discussion to look at because if you have not lived with a narcissist before, especially or if you've not observed a narcissist in the position of mother, then these behaviors are going to be very frustrating and your hands are going to be tied in these instances. So really quick, if you want to put in the comments or if you want to just unmute and talk about what are some, let's start with the bride first, and then we are going to move to the mom because you need to know some key things about this mom and why she's going to behave the way she is. If you only focus on the bride, you're going to have some behaviors from the mom that are not going to be glorious. Okay. So when you think about a bride whose mom is a narcissist and is controlling, that's kind of another word for it, somebody who's super controlling. Um, then what are some of the things that your brides will do? All right. So let's talk about it. What is the bride? How will someone behave who has been in a controlling relationship for a long period of their life? How do they behave in decisions? How do they behave? How do they know how to make? Now, guess what? They've made a decision to say yes to a person for the rest of their life. They have made that decision. They are making a step in a towards some independence. Hopefully, hopefully they have not chosen someone that is also as controlling as what they are used to. But they have possibly made a step. This is an area where they could get some more freedom. So, but in this moment, they're still with the controlling person, right? So they're going to make decisions possibly out of fear. Part of her issue the bride has is knowing who she is. If she's been controlled for a long period of time with a very strong personality, she may not be able to gauge who she is. Part of who she is tied up with, I've made so many decisions to please this person in my life, to protect me, to be safe so that I don't get a hammer dropped on my head. And so it's difficult to decipher what I actually want all the time. Also, if I can decipher it, it's difficult for me to feel safe enough to say it, right? And our position as stylists is super difficult because we're not only trying to hear the bride and empower her, the mom is an element in this appointment. You cannot ignore the mom, and we put ourselves in a very dangerous position if we try to defend the bride. The mom gets to say, we're going. Many times the mom is paying for the dress. And so she actually has control in this situation in a real way, and she will use it, right? But what will happen? Let me tell you something. Someone who's controlling has spidey senses like you would not believe. They can tell immediately when someone is starting to take their control away. And they will then go into hyperdrive to prove that they have the control and pull every kind of control move they can. And that means bury you. You then become the problem. I will tell you, a controlling person with someone that they've been controlling for a long time, they believe, and please write this down because this has been something I've witnessed so many times in the journey of my life. A controlling person believes that the person that they are endeavoring to control or that they have controlled cannot make an independent choice. And the only time they do is if someone else has begun to control them. That's what the controlling person believes. They think that this person is absolutely incapable of making their own decisions. So if they start to make their own decisions, the controlling person naturally assumes someone else has taken my place as controller over this person. And that's the person they want to try to destroy. I just need you to hear that and let that set in. That's the person they want to try to destroy. So as soon as we show our hand that we are trying to protect the bride, we immediately become the enemy that needs to be buried. Nothing we say will resonate. Everything we say will be something they disagree with, and they will work to shut down the appointment and get out of Dodge. They will try to get to another store where they have control. This is no easy thing, guys. Because our natural tendency, when a mom says something like, you look 500 pounds, or you look so fat, or you're just wearing a dress that pardon me, but I've heard moms say this, that dress looks so slutty, like you're just looking slutty, you need to be more modest, those types of terminology, our natural tendency is to go, I'm protecting this girl from you. I want you out. That's a natural tendency. It's the right feeling, but it doesn't actually affect the situation the way that we want the effect to be. And what I mean by what we want, it doesn't positively affect the situation. The bride then not only has to navigate what her mom has said, or the person, whoever it is, has said, she has to then navigate the fact that she's embarrassed that she knows that you'll be the enemy. And many times the bride has to silently suffer and try to just not do anything to make it worse for you and the mom. And then she might, in the dressing room, open up to you. Sure. But that makes it more difficult for us as stylists, because then the bride is opening up to us of how painful this is. And this is how her mom always is. And she just wants to cry. And this has been a horrible experience. And that makes us want to defend her even more. Then we want to go out and be like, let me at her. And it doesn't actually help the bride, though. It just puts you in an angst-filled situation where you're powerless. All right, so let's talk about what to do. Your bravery is needed right here, and not the kind of bravery you may be thinking where you just go out and tell the mom, hey, step off. That doesn't happen in here. That's not the kind of bravery we're talking about. It's the kind of bravery and skill that is the kryptonite for a narcissist. Kryptonite for a narcissist, congratulations, y'all, are those of us who are empaths. If we are an empath, we have a superpower when it comes to narcissists, because we can feel into things just as much, if not more so, than they can. And we can work to figure out how to say things in such a way that the narcissist can't keep the control. They feel like, and they stand there a little bit, eyes blinking, like, what's happening? How did this happen? I can't fully hate this person. But I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can take them to a place where they're feeling a part of this. So how we're looking to help the bride is in such a way that the mom feels valued and seen and a part of, and never shaking you and never against the bride. Even though we know what she's saying is against her, we can't take the position that that's what we're seeing, because then she'll shut us down. She will shut the bride down. She will shut us down. We have to keep open face. We have to keep opening and connected with the mom, and keep a conversation very calm with the mom, and assuming that she is seeing and helping the bride with the same motivations we are. We're going to keep assuming that about her, and never let what she says shake us off of our feet of being able to relate to her. And this is the hard thing, not impossible, but almost impossible. Okay. This is what separates the master stylist from the, I'm just here for a sale stylist, right? Or from a more immature understanding of human nature. And I will say immature doesn't mean that it's bad that you're immature. It just means that maybe you don't have as much experience with narcissists. And I want to say congratulations. I'm super glad you haven't. As much as possible, we will try to unfold that for you, so that you don't have to go through it yourself, but then you have a few more tools to talk to the mom. Find connection and show openness to that mom. Get next to the mom. Stay with the mom. Talk about the wonderful things about her daughter, and credit the mom with the things about her daughter. Credit the mom with how great the daughter is, how much fun she is, how beautiful she is, how much she knows who she is. Ask the mom if there are any blogs that she loves about being a mom, because there's so much good that you are seeing in her daughter. Credit her with it. Don't separate the two. The mom wants her daughter to only be good because of her, only to be successful because of her. She wants to take credit for everything the daughter is doing. All right. So it actually does two things. You are positively reinforcing who the daughter is, and you're saying good job to the mom for those things. And you are gaining the mom's friendship. That's the best way to protect this bride, is to gain the mom's friendship. Never forget, if she says something drastic about the daughter's weight or whatnot, that is not the first time she has said that to the daughter. The daughter has heard this a lot. So what you need to do is not be shaken by it. Remember, you're just going to laugh with, oh my goodness, and then say what you see. So it looks like this. The mom says, you look 500 pounds in that dress. I'm going to look at the mom and I'll be like, oh my goodness. Okay, so what I see, bride, is, and go into what you see with the bride. Make sense? You are not shutting her down. You are shocked and, oh my goodness, and this is what I see. And you're going to step forward a little bit in front of that mom, just a little bit, to talk to the bride about what you see. And then we're going to compliment something about the bride's personality, about something about how this dress, like when you see her in this dress, it shows her eyes, and she's got the same sparkle in her eyes as her mom. It's fine that you do that. The bride will actually feel safe. Does that make sense? She will feel safe. She's like, this person is not thrown off by my mom. This person's able to handle it. Oh my goodness, I'm in good hands. I have the potential to start to put things out there because this person keeps me safe with my mom, because she keeps my mom in a safe place. We are putting a cushion around the mom that she can't punch through to the bride by how we respond. Instead of putting ourselves against the mom that she can punch back and hit the bride in the process, we are cushioning the bride. We are protecting the bride by absorbing how the mom relates to human beings, period. What do narcissists want? The mom actually needs validation. She needs credit. She needs to be seen. She needs to know that she's heard. She needs to know all of these things. Does that give her control in the appointment? No, because you are determined to do all of these things for both. But it's just the fact that many times when someone behaves the way these moms are behaving, we want to go away from them. We want to go away from them, just look at the bride and just try to get the bride to say what she thinks, and just try to get the bride to feel safe enough to say what she thinks. Yeah, we need her safe enough. Part of that is understanding some of the things the mom needs. And it's okay to open face say to the mom. So that's really interesting. See, when I'm looking at this dress, I will tell you from a stylist perspective, I see this, this, and this. And I see how this cut on your frame. I can see why this lights you up. Because girl, when you come out, it's like, oh my goodness, wow. And this dress has a feeling to it. Sometimes we think on the outside that it can be, oh, we need to have this certain cut or this certain element of a dress. But ultimately it comes down to, no, I feel something in this. And I know that that's kind of hard to put on the outside, it's hard to put our finger on, but you're in it, you can feel it, which is a really cool thing to watch. So yeah, this boho dress on you, I totally see why this feeling is lighting you up. You look comfortable, you look free as a bird, you look like you could run through the field, and I super love it. Now, if we did this with the fit, it would also accentuate your frame even more so. So good eye, mom, as far as fit goes, fit is important, and I really feel like it's vital because you're going to have lots of pictures on your day. You want this fit to be fabulous. In alterations, this is where this fit will go. It'll affect XYZ, XYZ. It will do XYZ, which will also like totally point up your frame. So I'm glad you were noticing some of the fit too, mom, but the feeling of this, I totally get. I've got to find the things I can validate about what the mom's saying without validating everything she's saying. I can't also like say what she's thinking is invalid. I have to try to do both. This is what we're going to do together as stylists. We're going to try to validate the things that the bride is feeling in the dress that the mom may not like at all, and still say that something about what the mom is saying is important to this process. You're glad you brought that up, and reframe it to where you can answer it, whether it comes to alterations or the size that you're ordering of the dress that will affect the bust line and all those types of things. Show your expertise and agree with the mom. Narcissists need to know that experts agree with them. So work to find the way to frame what the mom is saying in such a way that validates something about it without supporting the jab. The jab totally goes away. You support the thing or validate the thing in the way you framed it that you can answer. Is this making sense a little bit? Is this helping some? It's work to do. But you see how then the mom's like, yeah, I knew that I should have said that. She has no idea that what she just said was horrific because she's oblivious to that. She feels instead, I was validated that I said something important and my daughter now knows that and this stylist knows that. I think I like the stylist still because we're on trial the whole time. As stylists, we are on trial with that mom the whole time. She thinks we're salespeople. Salespeople are controlling. Salespeople are manipulating. Salespeople are all the things that she is. So she has her spidey senses out that we are that. So as soon as we are able to say what she sees is valid and a good thing she brought up, then she is less scared of us, worried about us, needing to bury us. Okay? And then we stay in a safe position for the bride. Super key. All right. What are some of the questions that you're thinking as we're saying this? Are there some specifics that you're like, what about this? What about this? I'll try to speak into it because this is a full discussion, guys. There's a lot here when it comes to the narcissist side of things. And it stretches us because you know what? We don't want to be around people like this. We don't want to validate anything they're saying. The thing that we want the most is to turn and say to them, I don't know what your issues are, but you are horrible to your daughter right now. And I am so sorry she has had to live with you. And I just want to take this girl and say, run and go get married and never look back. And you need to go to counseling. Like you just want to say some stuff. But if you have had to, I don't know if I want to say had to, if you have been in a position in your life where you actually love someone who is a narcissist, you have to figure out how to stay independent as a person, still love them, but not be controlled by them. And still speak into things that need to be spoken into without putting yourself and others in more dangerous positions. And it's an interesting thing. We have to master connecting well with each individual of them as they come in the door and get your spidey senses out. This is what people don't realize that we as stylists have to do. People don't realize that when people walk in the door, we are in tune and we are working to be more in tune. And if you're a stylist that's not doing that from the door, you realize it too late in the appointment. So start early. Don't assume that this is going to be easy. I want you to assume my job is to go in as deep as I can with every one of these individuals right here. Every one of them. The bride needs to know when I'm seeing her, I see her. I get her. And this is not a problem. I love your people. I need her. She needs to know from you that you hear what she's going through. You're here for her. And whatever she opens up to you about in that dressing room, you hear it and you get it. And then I want you to verbalize to her this. I need you to say to her, listen, I know you love them. And I want you to know I'm with you and I'm here to do the same. I'm here for you to be able to find your dress, but I'm supporting you in ways that you can communicate in love to people that may be missing what your voice is right now. But I get it. I want you to know I love them too. Say it to the bride. There's nothing like that for her. There's nothing as powerful as that. She's sitting there emotional, frustrated, not feeling seen, not feeling understood, feeling dismissed, feeling like she's tired and she's weary and she just wants the freedom of this. And she hates the fact, honestly, that they can hurt her so deeply because she keeps loving them. If she could just turn off the loving of them so that they couldn't hurt her anymore, that would be just great. But she loves them and she's trying to find the ability to be a full, whole person and still figure out how to love them. Because to a narcissist, what does love look like from the person they are trying to control? Can you please put that in there? What is love? They only interpret love from this person as what? Total compliance. Total compliance. Are boundaries allowed? No. They see boundaries as rebellion or hate. Do you know that when I have drawn a boundary as kindly as I can with someone who's trying to control me, they throw in my face, I thought you like to teach about love. Why do they say that? Why do they say, oh, you must not be as loving as you seem? You're just all talk. Why do they say that? Because love to a narcissist or someone who's trying to control somebody, the only way they see you as loving is if you totally comply with what they want you to do. So the bride's in a spot. She's trying to learn what love actually is. I don't know if you've seen, I've seen the parts of the documentary on Gypsy Rose, whose mom had, definitely Munch, is it Munchausen by proxy, where she's making her daughter sick and doing all sorts of horrible things to her. I haven't watched the whole thing, so I'm sure there's more stuff I will learn, but I don't have a lot of time right now to watch. But I did see parts of it, and let me just tell you, my heart aches with her because she loves her mom, but all she knows of what love is total compliance. And so then it can be a journey to learn what love actually is after this kind of time frame of life to be under. They need, what a bride needs most is for you to exemplify the fact that you can stand and speak and understand the narcissist's perspective, what the narcissist actually wants and needs in these moments, without losing yourself, and while protecting the bride and keeping the bride open, and to love everyone in this process. You can know what a person is and still love them, and be freed from their control. And the narcissist isn't used to people like that in their life. They're used to either complete compliance or someone trying to come after them to hurt them big time and cut them out of their life and total, you're a horrible person. They're not used to someone being able to relate to them, not let them control the situation, and still act in a loving way to them. They're not used to it. So then they will try to figure that out. That's why, what I mean, they stand there and kind of blink their eyes because they're not used to someone being able to handle them in this way. And they still feel like they are being validated in some ways. They're not being cut off. They're not being pushed away. They're being welcomed in. And yet, and so that's what I feel is a superpower in this point, guys, because so many moms, I want to encourage you. It's possible to do this and then watch the mom move forward in the appointment and we find that they're saying yes, the mom feels a part of it, and then they go from there and safety ensues. But if we try to do this wrong, the mom will jack it up. She will jack up her control. She will posture more, and she will work to bury you, and she will out loud say, we are going somewhere else. And we're just trying to protect the bride. But I will tell you, the bride many times does not have the freedom or the ability to come by herself again later. It would be the most dangerous thing you could ask her to do sometimes. Now, if she says, I'm just going to come in later and make this decision, totally fine. We're there for it. But we have to be careful in our expectations of what the bride's able to decide without the mom also being on board. The problem is when she gets quiet, we all know that means she's just going to pout. The bride's not going to make a decision, and then she'll unload in the car afterwards. She'll tell the bride all kinds of things because if a narcissist loses complete control of it, That's definitely a move they will do where they're like, I'll just wait. And then later, I'm just going to make it, and we will never go back there again. I'm going to make sure to speak into all of that. So we have to keep her as a friend. If you keep her as a friend and keep looking at her, what she feels, guys, I will tell you it's subtle. What she feels from us as stylists is when we stop looking at her. We keep looking at the bride to get the bride to talk, and we stop looking at the mom because it's hard for us to look at her. We don't like the pain she just caused the bride. We don't like the control she's having to do. We don't like people like this in our life. We don't want to be like this in our life. And so it's like, get away. I'm not going to look at you. If I don't look at you, then I just talking to the bride and we're all good. The mom will feel it and she starts to pull control a different way. You have to keep engaging and keep opening her, showing that you're open with her and that nothing she has said has offended you to where you're not going to talk with her. Nothing that she said has thrown you. And then ask her some questions. So like, what about this, mom? She's just like, well, it's her decision, so I don't even know. Let's just say she says something like that. Well, it's her, I mean, she's the bride, right? It can be so passive aggressive. And so you can be like, no, yeah, she absolutely is. But what I see too is how much like you guys historically, you both can see different things. And so I'm really curious, like, what are you seeing with this? I don't know. She just likes it. So yep, that's true. She does. I think she does light up in this. I think you're right, Mom. I think she does. Yeah. And I think she's lighting up too because this has this, and this. And you were saying it's a little bit similar to this element of your mom's dress. And so I can see that. Pull anything that the mom has said, pull anything in there and go back to the mom. Give the mom credit with how the bride is able to like know what she feels in something. Use a story to connect. You can use a story that says, you know what? I have a friend who it was very difficult for her to know what she thought or felt because that was not allowed in her home. Like the only thing that was allowed was like, if her parents said this, then she had to go along with it. So what I love is this, even though there's different perspectives, you're both trying to share your perspectives. And I will tell you, Mom, sometimes that's hard. It's hard to like share your perspective when you don't want to step on your daughter's toes. You want her to be able to express herself. And I know, Bride, it can be hard to express something if it's different than what mom likes. This is what's great about relationships, finding those ways in moments like this where it's like, oh my goodness, this is tricky, to actually say what you think. But you're both doing a great job at it. You're both trying to express what you're seeing. And it's super helpful. Don't quit. You're doing great. Get them to keep talking. Say that you're seeing her trying to say what she thinks. Many times a narcissist can't know what they fully are going to say until they're mad. They feel, let it build. And then they wait till it gets to a certain point, and then it's like, bam. Or they just come out as mad from the get-go. It's very difficult, their communication styles. But what we have to know is that's a weakness in their ability to communicate. And we're going to just try to validate the fact that they're trying to communicate. That's something we can validate. They're trying to communicate and they're trying to hear each other. And this is a difficult process. And then I would go into, it can be very much the same when it comes to finding the right person. Oh my goodness. And then I would tell a story. You may have a story in your back pocket, I don't know, of someone that you know who they have very different takes on the person that was for them, and how it took a second for some people to realize, oh yeah, that is the person for them. And that can be a tricky operation. And sometimes the mom knew way before the bride did that this was the person for the bride. And then the bride came around and figured it out. So being able to communicate through these things is so key. Find positive examples that you can put in there to help the mom not shut down. And the reason she shuts down, I will tell you many times, is as soon as she feels that we are trying to get the bride to talk more than she is, then the mom will pull back because she knows that'll make the bride not share. She knows. That silent treatment's the worst. It's the worst. And then the little passive aggressive little quips. they're just more arrows. And so what we're trying to do is cushion around the mom and cushion around the bride and bring them safely together. Safely together. And you're that bridge. Safely together. Don't break the bridge. You can't break the bridge or we all drown. And no one is helped. Got to keep the bridge. If you can watch videos a bit on narcissism and study a bit on this, and then imagine yourself how you would then speak into these things in an appointment. Now, if you've also done some research already, you may have heard of a term that I didn't even know was a term. It was something that I developed in my own journey of life with experiences that when I saw this term, I felt so accomplished that this was actually a technique that is taught. Because you know what I mean? Like, you're like, hey, as an empath, we figured that out. Like, we found that. And it's called gray rocking. Have you ever heard of gray rocking? A gray rocking is when a narcissist is saying something to you for a specific response, or they say something super strong. And instead of responding in some sort of opposite way of what they're saying or answering what it is that they're throwing out there, you kind of look at them and just go, huh, hmm, hmm. And then talk about something else. It's like, you're just, huh, huh, hmm. And then go on to something else. Gray rocking. It means nothing you've just said has caused me to engage with you in a way that now you have control over the emotion I am having. You have control over this conversation. I'm not saying anything against it that will cause you to keep going and convincing me. I am receiving it, absorbing it, and thinking about it, and then moving on to something else. It's combined in there of the, oh my goodness. Okay, so what I see is that's an element of gray rocking where you're not shutting them down, you're not going against them, you're receiving it and absorbing it, and then speaking into some of the things that you're seeing over here, and you're not shutting them down, you're not shutting them out, you're not offended by it. These are what we're going to try to practice. But helping to comment to the bride in private that you're so glad and that she is who she is, and that you see strength in her, and that you love seeing her in with the people that she has brought, that you do see her, you do hear her, and you love them too, and that you're you know that she is going to be able to feel what it is that she needs to feel in the stress, and that she'll know when it's the dress. Speak strength into her. You can share some of your own stories. If there are controlling people in your life, that you can share some snippets of that, but share it in such a way that's not like, yeah, they're horrible. Share it in such a way that says it's important to find that path of being able to love someone and be able to have them not have wrong control over your life. And if you're a newbie stylist, your tendency is to be so focused on the bride that you miss the importance of the relationship with everyone else. There are times when I'll sit next to the people who are very important in this process. I'll just come and sit next to them and talk to the bride, because they need to know I'm with them. I'm not afraid of them. They haven't created some sort of territory that I'm not welcome in. I'm right here with them, and we're going to be best friends, and I'm hearing what they're saying as well. Super key.
Thanks so much for being here on the podcast. I hope there was something in there that made you go, oh my goodness, I can use that as I'm helping brides. In fact, a lot of our stylists who we do training with, they rewatch the training over and over and over again, and they come away with something new every time. So these podcasts will be the same. Watch them over and over and over again so that it sticks with you. You can't get it all in one sitting, but I hope it's both educational and inspirational for you, because what we do is help brides be empowered to have a moment in their life that they will never forget, and it's telling their love stories to the whole world. It is a bigger job than a lot of people realize of what we're doing. It's way more involved relationally. So this podcast is specifically designed to help you relationally in your life. That may mean you're acclimating to things differently in your relationships, and I hope so. I would love to hear the stories of how this podcast helps you. So comment or DM us, like and share it if it helps someone else in your team, maybe even just someone else in your life. There might be stories in there where you're like, this would be helpful. Definitely share it with them, and make sure you come every week and hear the podcast. We also have a training platform, if that's something that will help you even more. Come join our Speak Bride training platform, where we interact with these things every week with stylists from all over the world, and be empowered to do your job in a major way, because love needs to spread, and we get to be the ones that help it do that. So join us, and thanks again for listening to the podcast.